Hey everybody and welcome to this video. I'm Minxlaura123 and yes, I'm wearing a Pikachu hat. There we go, Pokemon themed hat. You're probably thinking, why are you wearing a hat indoors? Well, I've got a couple of reasons. Number one, I like wearing hats because, you know, hats are cool. And number two, my hair is a complete mess. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stick a hat on. Okay, right. So, anyway, the subject of this video is funny, weird, odd, strange things that I did as a child. So, like, to be honest, I'm still pretty weird right now as an adult. But when I was a kid, I was, I think, even more weird, if that's possible. And what I've got here is a list of different funny, weird, strange things that I did as a child. There's quite a lot of things on this list. Now, I will say, I have done this video before, but it was many years ago when I kind of just started, you know, filming videos for this channel. And so a lot of you who are new to the channel or just joined after I'd, you know, put that video on, hadn't seen that video. You know, unless you've kind of gone through my old videos, which, by the way, thank you for doing that. But, like, if you haven't, then you wouldn't have seen it. So, some of these, you know, are from the previous video. I'll put the link down below to my previous video that I did years ago. But, yeah, I've done the same list as that. But, obviously, I didn't want to make exactly the same video because that'd be really boring. So, I've kind of added on some extras as well. So yeah, these are weird things that I did as a child. By the way, let me know in the comment section down below what weird things you did as a kid, you know, because I think it's really funny looking back at our kind of childhood memories and things that we did, which were a bit strange and odd and funny. Okay, so let's get started. I've got a pen here so I can, you know, mark off when I read all these out. So there's no like particular order with these. I mean, they're all pretty odd. So I'm just going to go through the list randomly. So the first thing that I want to tell you about is walk on ahead. These are how I've wrote down my list so I can remember what they are. Walk on ahead. So basically, when I was a kid, my mum and dad would take me out and stuff, and what they would say is, walk on ahead, Laura. Go, Laura, you know, walk on ahead. Now, obviously, as an adult, I know that that means walk on ahead of us, you know. But as a child, I tried to walk physically on my head. So I would walk along with my head upside down thinking, how? How can I physically walk on my head? Yeah, and obviously I couldn't ever manage it, but eventually my mum and dad told me, and they'd always laugh at me, and now I know why they laughed at me, because I was walking along going, I can't walk on my head. But yeah, so if anyone ever says to you, walk on ahead, don't ever try and walk physically on your head. By the way, let me know in the comment section down below as well if you did any of these things that I'm kind of saying. Maybe other people did these things as a kid as well. Maybe not, I don't know. Okay, right. So the next thing, this kind of portrays me as a very violent, angry child. But I wasn't. Like, I was super sweet and, well, actually, no, I was a little bit naughty, to be fair. But I was a nice kid, like, in general. But the next one is throw tins at cashiers in supermarkets. Basically, whenever my mum would take me out shopping, this is really weird. Basically, I would be sitting in the trolley, you know, in the little kids section that they have in the trolley, you know, at the front. And I would lean over into the actual trolley cart bit and pick up tins and throw them at the cashiers. That's so awful. I feel really bad. I feel bad. I know, obviously, I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing, but it's really awful, isn't it? Like, can you imagine just, like, I don't know, working in Sainsbury's and this kid just, like, hurtling this, like, tin of beans at you or something? Like, it's awful. So, sorry to any of the cashiers I ever did it to. I know they're not going to be watching this video, but yeah, if you are, I'm sorry. But, yeah, that's what I used to do a lot. And she never knew why I did it, but it had to get to a stage where she would see my hand going in to grab a tin, and she'd have to, like, quickly pull my hand away because she knew after a while what I was going to be doing. And she always said to me, like, I don't even know why you did that. So it was really odd. Luckily, I never hit any of the cashiers, but yeah, anyway. The next one, okay, the next one is a fancy dress box. So basically, my mum and dad used to take me to Butlins regularly at Bognor Regis. Great place, by the way. I love a bit of Bognor. I'd love to go back there at some point in the future, like as an adult, just to see the old Bognor, how it's changed. But anyway, so they used to take me. So I've got something in my eye. Let me just rub my eye. Oh, I hate that. Ugh. Hold on. Press pause and rub my eye. Hold on. Okay. I think it's like a bit of sleep or something. Anyway, I think I've got rid of it. But yeah, they used to take me to Butlins all the time. It was like a regular holiday adventure, was Butlins at Bognor Regis. And they had all different like contests for the kids and stuff, like, you know, the beauty queen and this and that. And the contest that I used to go into every time I would go to Butlins was the fancy dress competition. And by the way, you didn't get like a particularly amazing prize. Like these days, I don't know if they still do it, you probably get money or whatever, but back in the day you just get like a little certificate, and that was it. Just saying, yeah, you won the fancy dress. But I really enjoyed doing it, and I loved like going on holiday, and we'd spend like so much time like in the chalet kind of like dressing up the outfit. But here's the thing, every time that I would go and enter into a fancy dress contest, I'd always do it in a box. It's so weird. So basically my mum and dad would take me around the little supermarket they had there in Butlins, and they'd ask the staff for like a sort of big box. I was only small, remember, I'm still small now, but I was even smaller as a kid, and it'd have to be like a big empty box, and I'd have to stand in the supermarket like just trying on the boxes, and then we would decorate the box. Yeah, really weird. Like I don't know what, I think it's because I wanted to do the contest, but I was also quite shy as well, so hiding in a box was always a good thing. I think some of the things I've been at, I think the best one, the most funniest one actually, is I went as traffic lights. So basically we had this box over me, mum put all black bags over it, so it was black, and then we had 3 bits of coloured felt on the front, the red, amber and the green. Yeah, and I had like a little slit at the front for like my eyes, so I could actually see where I was going. I didn't win, unfortunately, in that time, but I did manage to win a few fancy dress. But yeah, I always went in a box. Okay, moving on to the next one, which is another contest. Basically, at my school every year they did the Easter bonnet contest, right? So I really enjoyed doing, like, as I say, contests and stuff, right? So basically I had this Easter bonnet, and I used to have the same one every year. Basically we changed a few little bits and pieces on it, but it was overall the same hat. And I've got photos somewhere, and I can't find them. I know they're somewhere, but anyway. But yeah, so basically I did the contest. It was like a square hat, and it had like little chickens on it, and like chocolate eggs. It was all coloured. It was really cool. And basically you're all given a number, and then they would call the number up, and you'd go up to the front. You know, this was in front of the whole class, whole year, at the assembly and stuff. And yeah, they basically said number 6 is the winner. And I was so excited, I was so happy, and I walked up with my hat like, oh, I've won. And then when I got up to the front, they said, I'm really sorry, Laura, you're number 9. Your card is upside down. I'm still really sad about that. So it's not funny. Like I've put it on this list, but it's really sad. I should have won, but I was just a bit silly, and I didn't realise that there was a line under it and it was the wrong way up. Anyway, that's that one. Moving on to Can You Trot? Can you trot? So this as well happened at Butlins, and a lot of these things actually happened at Butlins. But yeah, basically I used to be taking like horse riding and donkey riding and stuff at Butlins, and I got on this little horse. I remember this young girl was like walking me round, and I was really young actually. I don't know what age, but I was really young. And she all of a sudden said to me, can you trot? So I didn't know like what trot meant. I just stupidly, like what I should have said looking back was, no, I don't really know what that means. Like, you know, but being an idiot, I went, yeah. And obviously, basically this horse started to like run, like it was like, and I was so little, I didn't know it was going to like jolt quite as quickly as that. I didn't know what trot meant. And it went really quick, and I fell off the back of the horse. I really hurt myself for like a long time after that. Luckily I didn't injure myself or anything, but I was in a lot of pain. It was very sore. Obviously at the time my mum and dad were really worried, but years later we can all kind of laugh about it. So if you're ever on a horse and they say, can you trot, only say yes if you know how to trot. Don't do a Laura and be like, yeah, okay. The next one happened at Butlins as well. This is karaoke with my mum. So yeah, as I got a little bit older, I really wanted to kind of take part in the karaoke fun of Butlins. And there used to be this place that we used to go to called the Liberty Bell, and basically they'd have like these karaoke evenings for, you know, people who were on holiday there, right? And so I had this thing. I was like, you know what, tonight's the night. I'm gonna do it. I want to sing. I want to do karaoke. So I went up to the Red Coat. I used to love all the red coats, and I said, I want to do karaoke, you know, and you could do it any age. You didn't have to be an adult. You could do it, you know, as a child and stuff. And I said, I want to do Whitney Houston. I want to dance with somebody, right? I love Whitney. Can I just say, Whitney, rest in peace. And so, yeah, so he put my name in the book and all that stuff. And, you know, they do a few other people and then they call you out. And it's like, right, now we've got Laura and she's going to come up and sing Whitney Houston. And I got up there, I was all like, you know, had my like sparkly little dress on and everything. And, oh God, I literally got there. They handed me the microphone. This is going to be the mic, this pen. Stood there like that. The music starts playing. Do, 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 do. Yeah, do, 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 do. And just when I was meant to sing and the lyrics come on the screen, I don't know what happened to me. Even now, I just went blank. I think obviously it was fear, it was nerves, but it was like I went mute. I literally couldn't get a word out. Bearing in mind I used to sing all the time and just, you know, da, da, da. I just couldn't do it. And I just stood there really awkward with this mic like that. And the song was like playing, da, 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 da. And I was like, anyway, so my mum, bless her, she felt really sorry for me because like, I'm just kind of standing there in a sparkly dress holding a microphone, not doing nothing, right? So she comes up to me and she puts her arm around me and she goes to kind of sing with me, so like to help me. And she starts singing and she kind of thinks that I'm going to start singing along with her, and I don't. I'm still mute. And I just walked off and left her just standing there, and she ended up having to sing. She had her coat on still. She had a handbag. Like, it was, oh man, it was really bad. I felt awful for her. So we always laugh about that. I have to say, she did do quite a good job of singing Wanna Dance with Somebody. Anyway, right, so don't go karaoke with me because I will just leave you and you'll have to sing on your own. Right, the next one happened at Adventure Island, or Peter Pan's as it used to be called. When I was a child, my dad would take me pretty much every Saturday night. My mum would go to bingo. So classy, our family, I know. But she'd go bingo on a Saturday night. My dad would take me to Adventure Island, Peter Pan's. It's basically like a mini theme park, is the best way I can describe it, here in Southend. And it was great fun. There was all these different rides and arcades and stuff. I loved it, like literally. We'd be down there for a few hours and then we'd meet up with my mum when the bingo had finished. And yeah, so basically there was this ride. Actually, there's a couple of things that I'm going to talk about in this video that were based at Peter Pan's Adventure Island, right? So the first thing is the aeroplanes. There was this ride that, the only way I can kind of describe it is there was like, I don't know, 9 aeroplanes all connected to each other, and it kind of used to go round like slowly, not over fast, just slowly. But what you did on each individual plane, there'd only be like one person on the plane, right? This little mini kids aeroplane, right? But you'd have this lever and like you'd pull it back, and as you pulled it back, the plane would go up. So they'd all be going kind of round at a height level, like this kind of height level, right? But what happened, the first ever time I went on them, I was petrified. I went up and I was like, oh my days. So I must have had a fear of heights from quite a young age, because I'm really scared of heights now. And yes, I remember being high up thinking, oh my God, like this is terrifying, and just pressing the lever down. And then, yeah, so basically all the other aeroplanes would be going up here, and there'd just be me like at the bottom going around. And my dad was like, why are you not going round? So I'd be like, oh yeah, I think there's a problem with the lever, it wouldn't work. And he's like, oh, okay. But it wasn't. I was just terrified. And I thought if I told my dad, he'd just be like, oh, stop being stupid. My dad's a bit like, you know, hard nut boy. But he's not, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so every time we would go and he would take me, um, I would literally go round at the bottom and all the other kids were high up. And he always used to say, why are you not going up? And I was like, honestly, Dad, the lever is broke. I can't get it to work. I want to go high, but I can't. So, yeah, I think he knew, the truth. But that's what I said for years, that the lever was broke. But yeah, that was, I think, my earliest memory of having a fear of heights. Anyway, the next one was also kind of height related. It was on the Helter Skelter, you know, the big slide that goes around, right? So what it was, I always used to go on and on and on to my dad to take me onto the Helter Skelter. Please, can I go on it? Please, can I get on it? So he'd pay for the little tickets and I'd queue up for ages just to get on this Helter Skelter, because it was like one of the most popular things at Peter Pan's. And what would happen is I'd go up the stairs and I'd obviously in my mind realise how high I was. And as you're going higher and higher and higher, I would freak out in my head and think, oh my days, I'm so high up. I don't like this, right? And what I would do, like if you've ever been on a Helter Skelter, you know, the little gangway of the stairwell is really slim. Like it's not a big wide thing, is it? It's like quite tiny. You're only supposed to go up one by one. But I would get near the top, freak out and then think, yeah, I'm not doing that. No, thank you. And I would literally turn around. So there'd be all these kids, like with their, like, what was it, their sack. They used to have that sack, didn't it, that you go down in. So there'd be all these kids carrying their little sack up this tiny stairwell. And then be me walking downwards. I don't know how I didn't, like, fall down the stairs or knock another kid over. I had no clue. I must have been very lucky. But yeah, I was really scared of that. And my dad would just wait for me at the end to see me coming down the slide, but I wouldn't. I'd be coming out the stairwell. And he'd keep saying every week we'd go, he'd be like, come on, you know, you got to be brave. Be a brave girl. You'll be fine. Just go up the stairs. So, okay. And every week I'd just come down the stairs and not the slide. I don't think I ever went down the slide. I suppose I must have at some point, but yeah, very embarrassing. Anyway. So the next one is oh God, the hidden camera. My mum had a hidden camera on me. So basically when I was a kid, this is really weird, but I didn't like brushing my teeth. Like I didn't like cleaning my teeth. I don't know why, because now I'm obsessed with it. I do it like, you know, all the time. But you know, I just hated having my teeth cleaned. I just didn't like doing it. I don't know. And so she would notice that I was, you know, obviously my teeth weren't looking particularly clean and, I don't know, maybe a little bit of bad breath. I don't know. But she realised that I wasn't brushing my teeth. And so I'd come down, you know, in the morning. She'd go, did you brush your teeth? Yeah. Okay. And then at night, did you brush your teeth? Yeah. So I'd lie, basically. And then she realised I was lying. So what she did, quite clever actually, this was before cameras like these days, like everyone can have cameras in their homes, right? But this was before all that. This was like early, you know, like 85, 86 or whatever, I don't know. And she basically lied to me and say, oh, I've put in a hidden camera in the bathroom and I'm seeing that you're not brushing your teeth. And I was really scared and I was like, oh no, I've been caught. And I believed her. And after that, I would go in the bathroom and look round for this camera. I never found a camera because clearly there wasn't one. But it made me believe so much that there was a camera. I started brushing my teeth every day. And then like after that, she said that she'd never had a camera. But it was a very good idea because I believed her. Right, the next one, humming while I eat. I've always been a bit weird when it comes to food. Like I don't like eating in front of people and yeah, I'm just a bit weird. But basically when I was younger, I had this thing where I couldn't eat my food unless I was humming a song, like a tune. So I kind of imagine this: you're sitting at the dinner table, I've got my knife and fork, got my dinner in front of me, and I'm going like this. That's the only way I could eat, is if I was humming. Very, very strange. And yeah, it really got on my mum and dad's nerves. So eventually they had to say, look, stop it. But I don't know. It's like maybe an anxiety thing. I don't know. But I had to, the only way I could eat meals was if I was, Do you know what? It's really weird because sometimes I do find myself doing that now. Like if I've got a song in my head, I'll just start going, Let me know if anyone else did that. Surely. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay. All right. This is one of the really weird ones. So I'm not going to go on about this too long because it's messed up. But I used to strip for my teddy bears. Yeah, I don't know. I think I must have watched something with my mum that I probably shouldn't have, and saw a show about strippers maybe, and thought, oh, that's really cool. So I remember like getting all my teddy bears in a row on my bed and yeah, just stripping to them. It was very bizarre. I nearly didn't put that one in, but I thought, well, that's actually quite weird and quite funny. Um, but yeah, I don't know if the teddy bears enjoyed it. Probably not, actually. Probably not. Moving on swiftly to the next one, which is that I was convinced as a very young child, I was convinced that the world was black and white. Basically, when my grandma and granddad would look after me, they had a very old black and white television. They couldn't afford a colour television, so they only had a little black and white television. Obviously, as the years went on, they did upgrade to a normal colour television, but like when I was really young, they couldn't afford it. And so I had this black and white telly. My granddad used to watch snooker on it, which I don't still know how he managed to watch a game of snooker in black and white. How would you know what ball, they're going for, like if you can't see the colour of them? But anyway, he obviously knew. Maybe the way they're positioned. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, when I used to watch TV with them, I just assumed that when they were watching old films, old TV shows, that the world used to be black and white. And it was only like when it got to the 80s that it become colour everywhere. That just sounds so bizarre when I say it out loud. But I was really convinced for many years that the world used to be black and white. I think other people must have thought that, surely, as a child. No? Okay, just me. Right, what's this one here? I can't even read my own handwriting. Oh, oh yeah. Okay, I used to think oh man, I used to think the Hulk, like as in the Incredible Hulk, the green, muscular, ooh, fella. That was my impression of the Hulk. Ooh. I used to think he lived up in my loft. I don't think he did. I don't even know what. It's because I used to watch the TV show back in the 80s with, what's his name, Bill Bixby. And I really believed that for some odd reason the Hulk would leave the TV show and live in the loft. And I remember walking past the hallway and constantly saying to my dad, he's up there. He's up there. And he'd be like, who? And I'd be like, the Hulk. He lives up there. And it didn't. Well, he might have, but anyway. And also sharks in the swimming pool. My dad, that was my dad's fault. I'm going to blame my dad. When I was a kid, we went on a holiday to, where was it? Oh, I can't remember where it was. It wasn't Brighton. It wasn't Blackpool. It was some holiday resort. Oh, where was it? Bournemouth. I knew it began with a B. We went to Bournemouth and we stayed in this hotel. I even remember the name of the hotel. It was called Solitaire. I don't know how I remember that. I was really young. But anyway, so it had this really beautiful swimming pool in the hotel. And my dad took me swimming. I didn't know how to swim, so he was going to like try and teach me to swim because he's really good at swimming. And yeah, basically he thought it'd be a really funny idea to tell me, basically I got in at the shallow end and I was starting to do it a little bit, and then he thought it'd be a really funny good idea to say, watch out Laura, there's a shark in the water. And of course, as soon as he said that, I mean, most, intelligent children would have been, haha, don't be silly. But I was a bit stupid. I believed him. I thought there was an actual shark in the water. I freaked out. I stopped paddling. My feet, everything just stopped moving. And I started panicking. I fell under the water. It was not good. My dad obviously saved me. I was all right. But what a silly thing to do. I still have a go at my dad for that now. I'm like, you told me that there were sharks in the water. And literally, after that, I never swam. At school, we had a little mini swimming pool, and they used to try and teach us how to swim, and I was like, nah, I just couldn't do it. I had really bad phobia of swimming. Our school swimming pool was disgusting. It was, at my junior school, it was horrible. It had, like, dead flies floating in it. It was mank. It was really horrible. So, like, you'd be, like, in there, and there'd be, like, a dead wasp or whatever near your face. Absolutely vile. Oh, horrible. And they'd give us these like white floats that you'd have to hold and flap your legs about. Oh, couldn't do it. Anyway, so there are no sharks in the Bournemouth hotel. It's fine. I don't think there are anyway. Next up, I would perform mini concerts to my family every weekend. Yeah. So I was a little bit of a show-off. I think you're probably gathering that I was a little bit of a diva. I'm a Leo, after all. I did like doing like shows and like showing off and stuff and performing. And I would I would do these like mini concerts for my family. Well, I say every weekend, but it was most weekends, not every weekend, but it was most weekends. I would perform to them, and I'd come on into the living room. They'd all have to sit there in the lounge, and I would walk in like my entrance, and then I would literally, I'd have this little like toy microphone, and I would sing like Phil Collins songs. And yeah, it was a bit weird. And I used to learn the lyrics like to these songs. I was quite an intelligent child in that respect, that I'd remember all these song lyrics and stuff. And they would have to sit there for like half an hour with me just going, you know, all these big songs, all these power ballads. And yeah, they'd all have to clap me afterwards. And I'd take my, you know, standing ovation. It was very bizarre, but fun. I used to enjoy doing that. And talking about Phil Collins, that's another one on my list. I did have a very huge crush on Phil Collins. He was my first celebrity crush, which is very embarrassing because he's not exactly, you know, he's not like a stud, is he? You wouldn't necessarily think Phil Collins, yeah. But at 7, 8 years old, I was like all over Phil. Like I had posters of him on the wall, and yeah. Anyway, moving on. The next thing I've got here, oh yeah, pretending to do different accents. I still do that now, to be fair. If I'm doing ASMR videos and I'm doing like a character in a role play. By the way, yeah, check out my ASMR channel, Minxlaw123 ASMR. Check it out. Links down below. But yeah, on that channel I do videos, and sometimes I will do like different accents to be characters that I'm playing. But yeah, I don't know, I picked it up very early on, and I think the reason I started doing different accents is because I used to watch a lot of TV shows from different areas. For example, I used to watch Brookside, so I'd pick up the Liverpool accent. You know, Coronation Street was, you know, Manchester. Trying to, like, a lot of the American shows I would watch, like Dynasty, Dallas, all the shows with my mum, basically all the soap operas. And I think that's why I got these different accents. But yeah, I was always really good at it. It was always like my little party trick. I always felt there wasn't much I was talented with, but like performing and doing different accents, I was good. And even now, like, as I say, I do the accents, and people leave me comments like, oh my god, like, it does not sound like you at all, you've done a really good accent. I'm like, I know. It's really sad. My American accent is a bit weird though. Like I go from kind of all different areas of America. So the accents I've never been able to do in England, like Newcastle, can't do it. Cannot do it. Why, eh, man? That's all I can ever say. I can't do the Newcastle accent. Or Welsh, I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good at Irish either. Yeah, but anyway, can you do any different accents? Let me know in the comments. Next one I've got here, oh god, all right, the anchor cow advert. Google this if you are too young to remember, but basically there was a TV advert on many years ago in the 80s for anchor butter, and they used to feature these cows. And try and visualize it, okay, but please Google this advert, it's a funny advert. There were like 3 or 4 cows in a row, and they'd basically dance, and they'd have this song like, we are lucky cows, we chew the cut down browse, and like their front legs would go, their back legs would go, like they were dancing. I'm not explaining it very well, so Google it, anchor cow advert. It's very funny. And basically what I would do every time, like literally every time this advert would come on, I would get up from the sofa, or if I'd hear it from up here, even if my mum had the TV on loud, I would run downstairs and I would stand next to the television and dance and pretend I was the other cow. Now, I know there are a lot of trolls watching this video now probably going, well, you are still an old cow. And I'll be like, okay, I'll take that. But yeah, I used to love it. I love that advert. It's still one of my all-time favourite adverts. And if it come on now, I would probably join in next to the dancing cows. Oh, the next one is, this one happened when I was really young. I used to go in my Wendy house, like, you know, the little toy houses that you sit in and stuff, like plasticky kind of material. I don't know what they make them out of. But yeah, I used to go in my Wendy house and I would move the Wendy house around. So most kids just sit in their Wendy house, they play, you know, it's all good. But my mum said that when I was really young, she or my dad would put me in my Wendy house with all my toys, and it would move. So they'd literally be sitting there, and then the Wendy house would move around the room. That's just really weird. Weird. There's loads of photos of me sitting in my Wendy house. Also, I would cut my Barbie's hair and I would cry. Basically, I loved like styling and brushing my Barbie's hair. Hey, I still do in my ASMR channel in videos, but yeah, I would basically cut. I would brush the Barbie's hair and then I would cut it, but it would be really awful. I'd normally do like a disastrous haircut. It'd all be sticking out and stuff, and then I'd cry because it wouldn't grow back. So I assume that because I used to watch my mum and that having her hair cut, my grandma and stuff, that obviously you have your hair cut, your hair grows, right? And obviously my own, when I'd have hair cut, it would grow back. But I didn't realise in my head that when you cut a Barbie's hair, it's not going to grow back. It still upsets me now. And so I have lots of Barbie dolls even now that have got kind of very dodgy hairstyles. But it's all good. They're stylish in their own way. All right, the next one is quite geeky. By the way, I hope you're still awake in this video. I'll try and hurry this up. I've only got a few left. Yeah, I used to sit and, oh God, every Saturday afternoon, basically, on BBC One, I think it was, well, they did it on ITV as well. But anyway, BBC One is where we used to have it on. And they would have the football results. So, you know, English football, soccer, as you call it in America. But yeah, football results, and they'd basically read out, this guy on the TV would read out the list of all the results from every single football league in Britain, right? So you get, you know, I think it was like Premier, Division 1, Division 2, things like that, right? And I would, for some reason, not only be obsessed with watching it, but I would mute the sound. So I'd turn the man off and I would read out the results. It would literally last for like 20 minutes of me just going, Liverpool 1, Manchester City 3, Newcastle 5, Leeds 6, or whatever, I don't know. But that, yeah, I mean, can you imagine it? Poor mum. Like, my dad was still at work at that kind of time, so my mum would have to hear me every Saturday. It doesn't matter what I was doing. I would be like, right, football score time, and I would go to the television. I'd sit on the floor and just read through the whole. And then I think as I got a bit older, this is really weird, I used to start recording myself doing it on like my little tape recorder. so weird. Anyway, moving on. By the way, if we're talking about West Ham, talking about football, and you want to know what team I support, it is West Ham. In case anyone is in the least bit interested, what football team do you support, Minx Laura? It's West Ham. There we go. Up the Hammers. They actually won this weekend. They beat Tottenham. Woohoo! Anyway, okay, Phil Collins' Crush. I've said that one. I'm just going to hurry up through these. Yeah, I used to teach my friends to swear at junior school. I always heard my mum and dad swearing. I mean, they were amazing parents, but they were quite naughty with their language around me. So, of course, I would pick up these words. I would go to junior school and teach all my other friends these bad words. And, yeah, not good. But funny, but not good. And I mean really bad words, not just the odd word, like really bad words. And then, yeah, I remember once my friend got in trouble and the teacher come up to her. She was like, where did you learn that word? And she's like, Laura taught me it. So, yeah, don't swear, kids. It's not nice, not clever. Okay, the next one is pretending to be a DJ. So, yeah, I think this is probably similar to the whole kind of, you know, recording myself doing the football results. Yeah, I wanted to be a DJ, and I used to make my own little cassette tapes. I had a little stereo system, tape-to-tape system, and a radio, and I'd play music, I'd record it, I'd make these tapes. It was called LJ Radio, and I called it LJ because my name's Laura Jacqueline, in case you're wondering what the J's for. It was Jacqueline. Yeah, LJ Radio. And I'd make these lovely little tapes. I'd give them to my mum and my mum's friends at work so they could listen to them, and I'd put music on. And yeah, I was convinced that I would be a DJ. And in a way, I'm kind of doing my dream. I'm living the dream because I've got my own channel now on YouTube, which is kind of like being a DJ, if not better, you know? So my dream come true. This is a weird one as well. I created a religion with one of my friends. Yeah, so just say it so casually. Oh, you know, I started a cult back in the day. Yeah, I started a religion. I grew up in a family where basically my mum's side of the family is Jewish, my dad's side of the family is Protestant. But really, I was kind of raised kind of atheist, apart from obviously when I'd see my grandma because she was very into Judaism and stuff. And I didn't really want to do any of that. And so I thought, I know, I'll create my own religion. So me and my friend Hannah, or ex-friend, unfortunately. But me and my friend at the time, we would sit there. I mean, we was like, what, 7 or 8? We'd sit there on the school field at junior school, and we created this religion called Hubba Bubba. I think we called it Hubba Bubba after the bubble gum. It's random. And we would do like all these kind of weird rituals and sit around this tree, and we'd get sticks. And I don't know, it was years ago, but I really was convinced that I was a member, a founder, in fact, of Hubba Bubba. Obviously, in later life, I found my true faith, and I'm very proud, loud and proud, to be Jewish, and I'm a Jew girl and happy. But back in the day, I was a member of the Hubba Bubba religion. All right, got a few more here. I've said about being scared of the helter skelter. That's all right. Cat game with dad. Oh yeah. I was like, huh? Yeah, so when I was a kid, I hated going to school. I think most kids do. And the only way my dad could get me into school some mornings was to say we could play the cat game. So basically the cat game consisted of me and my dad walking to school, which wasn't even that far away anyway, like a 10-minute walk or whatever. And we would have this competition who would see the most cats on the walk. Yeah. That was it. I mean, I was really excited by that game. I loved it. So we'd basically go, as soon as you would see a cat, you had to be quick. Like, you couldn't just be, like, taking your time. You'd have to go, cat, point, cat, cat, cat. Anyway, I usually won, but saying that, my dad did up his game, you know, as it went on. He did start to notice the cats first. I mean, the cat could be doing anything, sitting on a wall, laying on a wall, walking along. Play it. It's a good game. So, yeah, that's the only way he could get me, because he'd say, right, you're going to school, come on. Oh, I want to go. And he'd say, we'll play the cat game. All right, then, I'll go. Very clever move, because he got me in. I also used to say randomly that I would be sick every day. And he'd go, go on then. Go on then. Anyway, this is one here. Oh, yeah, put in the bath after waking up. When I was a kid, I used to have a little nap. And I'd wake up really freaking grumpy, moody, nasty, horrible little child. And so the only way my mum and dad could get me to kind of cheer up and calm down was to put me in a bath. Just stick me in the bath for 10 minutes, give me some bath toys, a bit of Mr. Matey bubble bath. And I was like, ew. They'd get me out, dry me off, put me in my pyjamas, and I'll be all right after that. But apparently I was horrible as soon as, you know, they got me in the bath. I was fine, so that's good. Have I got any more here? I don't think so. Oh, there's one more left. Oh, God, I've saved the weirdest one till last. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so this was kind of childhood, but not. This was like when I was at high school. I was 11 when I did this, so that's kind of a kid, isn't it, right? I used to pretend that my rucksack bag was a dog. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, if anyone, like, know me from school, you know when people have, like, school reunions and they'd say, oh, do you remember this girl? She was known for that, or this boy was known for that. I think if anyone was to say, oh, do you remember Laura? It'd be like, oh, yeah, she was the girl that made her bag was a dog, which is really weird and embarrassing. But true. I don't know why I did it. I don't know. My brain doesn't even know. But yeah, I used to have this purple head bag, and I used to pretend it was a dog. I don't know if I did it maybe to be funny or just to, you know, be weird. I don't know. But I think for a while I actually believed it myself that it was a dog. I used to talk to it. I used to pull it along on, you know, like the long bag straps. I used to pull it along the bloody corridor in the school. I'd literally just started high school, so it was probably a really bad move to do that. But I think some kids found it funny, like they'd be like, oh, it's a dog, haha. And other kids were like, what? You're weird. So yeah, and I remember going into like classrooms and stuff for lessons, and I'd get my chair at the table, and then I'd get, my bag was called Rover, by the way. I called the dog bag Rover. Someone would go and sit next to me, and I'd go, oh, sorry, Rover's sitting there, and I put my bag on the chair. Like, seriously, I did do that. I was very odd at school. I mean, that's a whole new video, but yeah, I was very odd at school, but I think that's the weirdest thing I did at school. I remember just remember really quickly, I remember when I used to do pottery, and I would have this phobia. I didn't like the feel of the clay on my hands. Even now, it makes me cringe. And I used to come home and cry to my mum, and I said, I can't touch that clay stuff. It makes me, I enjoyed making stuff and putting it in the, was it the kiln or something to cook it or whatever. I loved all that, but yeah, I just couldn't bear the feel of it on my hands. So I remember I had my pottery teacher was called Mr. Ganari, and he was such a lovely little man. Like, he was so sweet. He's only small, really nice man. And basically my mum suggested that I wear gloves. So I had to go in yellow rubber gloves into my pottery lessons. And I remember going up to this teacher and be like, you know, I'm really sorry, but can I wear gloves? So I was like the only child probably ever to wear rubber gloves in pottery lessons. Yeah, but I was quite good at it. Once I got the gloves on, I was like, yeah. I made bowls, I made cups. The weirdest thing I think I made in pottery was a fish. Yeah, I made like a clay fish, and I called it Bish the Fish. And I named it Bish after a West Ham United player called Ian Bishop. He was quite a big player back in the day. And yeah, I called it Bish the Fish. Anyway, so I think that's about it. I mean, there's probably loads and loads of other weird, strange things I did as a child and as a teenager and now as an adult. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here on a floor wearing a Pokemon hat. So, you know, I think some people in life are just really normal. And I think some people in life are just meant to be freaking weirdos. I'm a weirdo, but I'm a nice weirdo. Sometimes. No. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and it's give you a bit of a laugh and a bit of a giggle. You know, life is quite stressful at the moment, isn't it? So sometimes I do sit there and just talk and think about old memories, and it makes me smile, especially when they like involve my family and stuff. You know, like grandma and granddad are sadly not here anymore, and it's like when you talk about your family and your old memories and stuff, it's kind of like bringing them back to life in a way, like you're talking about them, you're keeping their spirit alive, and I like that. So anyway, yeah, please give this video a big thumbs up, leave me a comment, share it out, subscribe to my channel. I really want this channel to grow. It's kind of stuck, same as my other channel, like it's not going down, it's not going up, it's like that. So please subscribe and get more people to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you really soon. God, I look really awful. Not a very good angle for me for filming. Look at this oh, double neck, look at that, double chin, not double neck, double chin, or maybe a double neck, yeah. I'm talking about my neck. Look what's coming up again. The hives, look. I sit and film and I keep coming up in these like red marks on my neck, like hives. Maybe it's because I'm hot, I don't know. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you really soon. Lots of love. Don't forget to check out Minxstore123 ASMR, my other YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out my social media and TikTok. All the links are down below. Bye everyone.